Let's check out SightReader. This is one of the main features of the software. So we open it by clicking on the music stand. I'm going to run through the features really quickly just to refresh those of you who have used it before. Then I'm going to go more into depth with the different features and talk a little bit about how to apply this tool to increase your sight reading ability. So you can add the notes to the fretboard just by clicking on them. You can also select a chunk by clicking over here and dragging. So I've selected this chunk here. I'll just turn these notes off. Alright, over here we have our key signature, which we can choose any of these key signatures. You can have key signature or blank key signature. You can change your scale. I'm going to change the scale from Lydian here to major. And that will wipe the fretboard, so I'll just select my notes again. Over here we have selected note jump. You can choose from random, where it will choose the notes randomly from the selection, or intervals, which I'm going to choose. And I'm going to choose 3 notes away, which means it will jump 1, 2, or 3 notes away from the preceding note. Swung 8th notes, which are good for jazz players. Right now it's off. I just click on it to turn it on. I'm going to keep it off for right now. You've got time signatures: 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 5, 4, 6, 8, 7, 8, 12, 8. We're just going to choose 4, 4 for now. To select our notes, all we do is we choose which note we want, and we click on the blue button. And it will change from none to rarely, to average, to often, and back to none again. You can also hover over it and use up and down arrows, but I think clicking on it is much better. So I'm going to choose my 8th notes. I'm going to have some crotchets. I'm going to add some crotchet or quarter note rests. Moving down here, we've got ties, where I can add my ties, same deal. Accidentals, I'm going to add some accidentals actually. I'm going to put them rarely. Okay. Chord options. Now, the first one is chord charts, and the second one is notation chords. What we're going to do now is click on the word chord charts. It'll open up a window which has our key and our scale, and we can just drag chords from there over into this box here. Now what that means is that it will display these symbols above the music and play a bass note, which means that you can maybe practice your chord melodies. You can also select any particular chord you want, like I might add E7 and D7, because sometimes composers use these to go out of the key to give it a bit more tang. So there we have all the chords that will be chosen. Let's just close that for now. Notation chords, we click on the word notation chords. It opens up a list of chord libraries, and you can just drag those in here. This will produce the source for the chords based on the notes selected. When you move out of it, it closes, like just before. We're not going to have any chords for now. Alright, up the top here we have presets, we have the deep editing access window, and we have clean fretboard. We also have information. Now, say for example I want to save all the stuff that I've done here as a preset. I would just click on this box here. I might call it hello. I might press this I button and I can write a note like what's up. Okay, so close. Now what happens is that will save alongside the preset. Now to save it, I just press this plus button and it gets added to our list of presets. Now I'm going to delete it because I don't think it's very cool, so let's just press the minus button here. Yes, I want to delete it. Now if you want to load a preset, you just select it and press this load button here, which is in the arrow, and it will load. Deep editing, I'll show you a bit more about that when we after I've run through the tools. Up on the menu, you've got your help, which will show this video. Guitar sounds, you've got all sorts of different instruments. Pitch choice, music written for guitar sounds 1 octave lower than written because guitar is a transposing instrument. Concert pitch, music plays as written. And if you're a violin player or any kind of player that wants to use this tool and you know how guitar works, and say if you know how flute or violin work, you can use this tool for exactly the same thing. You just select your notes from here, maybe choose concert pitch, which we won't do right now. You can import and export from a file off the desktop, import here, import from the website, which will open up the community sharing tool. You can just choose your preset from there and add it to the preset list. You can export your preset to the desktop. Great if you're downloading a new version or so forth. Export preset to website, which will open up a website page where you can fill in the fields, send it off, I'll check it out and add it to the community sharing website. And I really want to encourage you to share your presets because, you know, that would be cool for everybody, and it'll give me something to put on the community sharing tool. Of course, this is not just for guitar, but it's for 4-string, 5-string, and 6-string bass. So, without any further ado, let's go to SightReader. This is where all the action happens, and you've got your key, your scale, the tempo, stop, play, pause, back to the options window. You've got G for generate, M for metronome, P for print, and 1 to 8 for choosing each of the staves. Staves have 2 bars each, and there will be 8 of those staves on the window when we generate it. So, let's press G to generate. So it's going to generate some music, and here we have it. We have rarity, we have some accidentals, it's jumping from up to 3 notes away, and we can press spacebar to play it. Yep, great. We heard that F sharp happening there. Okay, so when you are learning to play music, because I'm going to now get a bit more in depth here, you may want to use the metronome just to work out the first bar, the second bar, and just go through it. It might be good if you're just starting off to use this feature here, which is show note names. Then you can press G, and under each of the notes, it will show the note name, and you can correspond that with over here on the fretboard. For example, that C there is likely to be this C here. Alright, what else can I show you? Printing. You can print, and that will show all the 16 bars here, and you can print it out to an A4 sheet. Let's go back to options. I'm going to choose swung 8th notes on. What else can I add? Well, let's go to the deep editing rhythm section. So we click on this window. As you can see, there are all the rhythms that are available in SightReader. Every combination up to 16th notes. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you can hear what the grouping sounds like. So I'm going to go to this particular one here. I'm going to click on it. It's going to play a bar. It's going to play it one time, and then in the next bar it's going to play it as it would repeat. So let's click on it. Because it's very important that when you see a grouping, you understand exactly how it should sound. So this is so whenever I see this shape, I should instinctively get to know that this is if I see 2 in a row, for example. So just saying, that's a very good tool. Now to edit these, you just press S. And all these combo boxes will open up underneath each grouping. So I can see that we chose these quarter notes or crotchets rarely, sometimes for the 8th notes, and the 8th notes here. I may want to choose some triplets, so I can just pull this down and go rarely. Maybe some rests for the triplets, rarely. Maybe some rests for the 8th notes, rarely. I'll also add this particular grouping. And when I go back to my options, SightReader, I press G and there are my groupings. So I've got like these barred 8th notes here. I've got some triplets here. There's the ties. Actually, I'll go and switch off those ties. Go back to SightReader, press G. No ties. Okay, great. So this is pretty much how SightReader works. And this will definitely help you pass exams. It will help you to read music for different instruments. And you'll be surprised by how quickly you'll be able to pick these things up. One more tip, let's go back to the options page. Now, as you can see, this grouping here is a pretty wide stretch. If you ended up having to play something like F, you could play it there or reach up and play it here. But if you wanted to reduce, say if you got small hands or you want to make it really extremely comfortable for yourself, I would clean the fretboard and I would probably use, if you know your scale shapes, the Locrian shape, because it only stretches 3 frets. So any sharps or accidentals, you'll just have to reach a little bit more, but it's not as big as if you chose that previous shape. Or you can choose a Phrygian shape, and that's simply over here. Actually, I'll clear that fretboard, select my notes here, because at the nut you have to actually select them, and yeah, and that covers all the notes. So that would make a 3 fret stretch. If you're just playing diatonically to the key, accidentals would just be an extra finger maybe, or in between. So I would recommend using those particular shapes for your reaches. Okay, that's SightReader in a nutshell. If you have any questions, you can go to the blog and ask me there. Yeah, so enjoy SightReader, and I'll see you in the other videos.